Hello, and thank everybody for joining us today. This is Amanda and myself, and we are here to do a reading for the collective as always to see what we get.
Hmm.
We appreciate that you're following us today. If you just happen to stumble across us and you haven't liked our channel yet, please do like it and go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that when we go live like now, you'll get the awareness.
Yeah, and we want to say thank you for everyone who is following our channel so far, and we appreciate you guys for being here. So we're hoping that you get some really good content out of today. We never know what's going to pop up in these live videos. We never know what cards are going to pop out or pop in, or pop onto the floor. So I feel the energy very, very thick today. We keep yawning.
Yeah, very much so.
Pamela and I keep yawning since we got on here. And the last few days, and I'm sure maybe you haven't been able to stick your finger on it, but I think the Earth's energy is getting so much right now. The Schumann resonance is probably super high. I know the other day it was like 800. And it can make you tired. It can make you irritable. It can cause a lot of things coming up for you, things to purge, right? Because when you're vibrating at a high vibration, those lower vibrational emotions can't stay anymore. They have to be like kicked out and purged out.
Which is what we want to happen, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know if this has been true for you, Pamela, but the last couple of days, I've been a little irritable, a little cranky, kind of short, but I've been so tired that I feel like it's taken everything in me just to do the bare minimum. And so I don't know if other people are feeling that. If you guys are, please, please, please write it in the comments so that we know, because we want to know that we're not alone, and we want to make sure that you guys feel like you're not alone either.
Yeah,
So
I told you my I haven't been feeling cranky, but like the other day, remember I told you I felt like the world was off its axis, like the Earth was just kind of tilted because I was having really hard time balancing. And like
yeah.
you, I had been
Oh,
tired, just and then I think it was Wednesday, like Tuesday and Wednesday. I had a really really bad headache around my third eye and a temple, and I know our friend Adam had a really bad headache on Wednesday morning too. So a lot of
yeah.
energy things going on.
Yeah, so we're excited to see what the collective, what the reading is going to be today for the collective, and if we could get through it without yawning. Oh God.
I don't know if that's a possibility.
I don't know, because
It's an
yawned 10
energy
times just
shift.
now. Lots of energy shifting. So this is awesome. So we're going to see what cards we're going to read from today and in what order.
What's the message that we're going to get today, right? Because we
Yeah, what
know
is the
there's a huge
message?
message. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now. So,
Okay, well, this is interesting. So I use a pendulum to get our cards, and today it came up with crystal wisdom cards, which I love these cards. And it's funny because right before we started, Pamela, well, you and I were kind of talking. I was looking at all my crystals, and I was like, which one's like for most calming is what I was thinking in my head, and I was like, and then and so um I just asked if we needed any other cards, and I got a no. And I was like, wait a second, does Pamela need to pull a card? And I got a no. So let's see what we're going to pull out of here. Maybe there's some crystal wisdom, and some, these are powerful affirmations that maybe the collective needs to know right now. And maybe they can envision holding one of these crystals in their hand. Okay, so do we need more than one crystal card? So one, two, three. Okay, so just 3 cards. So let's see what cards. So I'm gonna give these a little shuffle.
those are smaller, so they're easier for you to handle.
They're so tiny, yeah. And there's not a lot of them. So this was actually my very first deck of cards that I have, that I chose, and so it's pretty cool. My friend who had a kind of a metaphysical store had these in there, and I go, I want to buy some cards, and she goes, well, which ones want to go home with you? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, well, put it up to your chest and see. And I'm like, at that point, I didn't really know what I was doing. So I was like, okay. So she's like, they'll jump out at you. All right. So these are the ones that wanted to come with me.
Yeah, we were in a store the other day. Alan and I, we went into San Antonio to celebrate my his mom's birthday and my birthday because they happened to be on the same day. And while we were waiting for them, we went to a store, and they had a bunch of some beautiful amethyst and the nodes with all the different things in them. But then she had some pendulums hanging. And it's really interesting because a lot of people can't read energy, right? And so if you're
Yeah.
one of those people who you can't read energy and you go and you buy like a pendulum for somebody or a stone, you should always cleanse it because you don't know who else has been handling it. And she had a lot of them. There were probably, I don't know, 30, 40 different pendulums on this spindle. And as I'm going through, I don't touch the pendulums. I always just kind of put my hand to feel the energy and see which one, if any of them get pulled to me. And there were two of them that the energy was just so bad. And so when I told her that, and she's like, well, I don't really read energy. Can you find them for me? So I had to go back through and figure out which ones it were. So I gave her to so she could cleanse them because it was like, you don't want somebody buying, that doesn't know.
Right.
But I ended up having one that decided it was coming home with me.
Oh.
So I ended up had one more pendulum to my collection.
Oh, nice. Oh, hold on 1 second. Okay. Now, I'm not going to promise I can pronounce all of these words. I'm not the best pronouncer in the world, but this one is, or maybe you know it, or I think it's orpiment.
Spell it.
Well, I'm going to turn it around for you. Orpiment?
Yeah, that one I've never heard of before.
Well, it's so pretty. It has like orangey, yellow, like kind of crystal shards. I mean, they're really, really pretty. So this is the one, and I want everybody to, so this is for success, right? And we go into 2021, we want that success mind frame and mindset. So one of the things is what we do with these affirmations is you say them 3 times out loud. And so this is, I am successful in all that I do. So we'll just say that 3 times. I am successful in all that I do. I am successful in all that I do. I am successful in all that I do. Perfect. Okay, now 4 cards jumped out at me. The next one was red tourmaline, and this is passion. So I got that red tourmaline, really pretty, reminds me of a ruby. And it says, I am the embodiment of passion. So I am the embodiment of passion. I am the embodiment of passion. I am the embodiment of passion.
And the neat thing to remember for that is passion doesn't have to be of a sexual nature. You can be really passionate. We talk about like burning desire for something you want to achieve, right?
Yeah.
So your passion can be about what's your purpose? What is it that you want to do in your life? That's where your passion can also be in. So it doesn't always have to be.
And these 2 cards go really well together with the passion and the success. So make your passion successful.
Right.
Right. That's like I was reading when we're going into December 21st or the shifting is picking the timeline that you want for your highest and best good, right? Not picking the timeline that we're in right now. Like we're shifting. So let's pick one that's going to be working really well for us. This next one is the Sunstone, and it's empowerment. Oh, sorry.
It's pretty.
And it says, I am empowered in all areas of my life. Give me. I am empowered in all areas of my life. I am empowered in all areas of my life. I am empowered in all areas of my life. All right. That's awesome. I love that because we got success, we have passion, we have empowerment. And this last one is the Libyan gold tektite. And this is manifestation. And it says, I manifest positive outcomes. So there's this really pretty yellow gold
Wow.
color, and it's manifestation. So I manifest positive outcomes. And it's like, okay, let's just say that. I manifest positive outcomes. I manifest positive outcomes. I manifest positive outcomes. And like when I was thinking about the 2021 to pick and choose your timeline, we are literally going to pick and choose the timeline that works best for us so that we can manifest our positive outcomes. We can stay empowered in all areas of our life. We can have the embodiment of the passion of our goals and success. And then, of course, be successful in all of that we do and all that we put our mind to. So all of these cards went really well together. And let's just make sure there isn't any other messages. Oh, we do have another message. Okay. That was just the most important thing. I think the universe is trying to tell us, listen, guys, there's a timeline, a time shift coming. Like, get on board with it, right? And you make your life what you want. So it doesn't have to be negative. Okay. Now, another message. Okay. So any of these.
But like you said about, it doesn't have to be negative, but that goes back to the energy that you're putting into things, the things that you're focusing on.
Yeah.
And that's why these cards are so important, because it's talking about, the abundance and the passion and just really being focused on those things, right?
Yeah. This one is the Carolyn Meese Wisdom for Healing cards. And I think right now we are healing. We're healing
Yes.
for the collective. We're healing the earth. We're healing a lot of stuff that's been going on for, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And so I'm going to shuffle these a little bit bigger. And I'm getting that we only need to pick one. One's staying, so we'll pick one more. So we just say, thank you, God. Thank you, universe, for letting us know what we need to know now. Okay. All right, so this one is appreciate everything. So today's lesson, on this day, affirm, my life is perfect. Appreciate everything and everyone in your life without doubt or expectations. Your goal, to learn that the way to set change in motion is to feel blessed and feel grateful. Oh, no. It says to learn the way to set change in motion is to bless and feel grateful for even the most difficult parts of your life. And how many times have we went through the most challenging time, but we came out on the other side so much better, so much more powerful, and ready to take on a lot more, just in life in general. And that can be like right now, like even though there's turmoil going on in the world, our lives can still be perfect. It can still be what we make it, and how we choose to, and like you said, how we choose to respond and what we choose to focus on. This other one, so that one jumped out. This is the other one. So this is called Notice That Special Person. And if you look at that, it almost looks like a reflection of herself.
Yep.
So let's read what this card says. Tomorrow is the portal 1212, which is really important for twin flames and getting and healing the collective. So a lot of twin flames are getting together, they're finding each other, they're coming into union, and they are raising the earth's vibrations and healing the collective. So today's lesson, on this day, take notice of someone who you've previously ignored. That could be yourself, right? That person is your teacher, your special angel, and he or she will do or say something that you've been waiting for, just because you're recognizing the beauty of his or her spirit. Your goal is to see that everyone is capable of helping you heal and vice versa. But I also want to plug in that you yourself can heal. You don't have to wait for somebody else, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry.
Okay, huge energy shift.
Me too. Okay, so that was good. Those are two good things. Did you want to still do with that?
Well, and I was just thinking because we're, like you said, we're looking at everything that's going on and like, being aware of your inner thoughts, being aware of anything that's drawing you away from
Mm-hmm.
keeping your vibration up and healing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is so important right now.
Very much so. It sounds like it looks like we have another. Okay. Another card that we pulled. This is the Akashic Tarot. See what this has to say. And these are a lot of cards too. So how many cards do we need? I was like, how many cards do we need? My brain said 4. And I'm like, let me make sure it is 4. 4 cards. Okay. Let's have a good message because I hardly ever get to pull these cards. Yeah, see, they're so slippery that they don't kind of come out by themselves. So it's a little bit challenging to find out which cards are for us. This one. And 2 more. They're like shuffling in like chunks, so it's not like I can just pull one out.
Yeah, I've had that happen. Like,
okay, let's see if those are the ones. Okay, these are the ones. Okay, so the 5 of Scrolls. We had this before. Diversity. I swear. Do you remember this card, Pamela?
I think so.
If not, it's a real popular card for a couple different people. So pretty interesting. Okay, so the 5 of Scrolls. Okay, diversity. So a woman stands on a veranda overlooking a beautiful valley dotted with little towns on the hill and along the river. Scrolls that she has read lie upon a nearby table. Another scroll is held loosely in her hand while the woman surveys all that she sees. This card, I wish I had something to hold these up so you guys can kind of look at them as I read them. But there we go. I'll just kind of hold it there. With this card, you'll find that it's time to diversify. There are many options for you to consider, and you should take a look at them all. Allow yourself to try new things, to go to new places, learn new subjects, break out into different directions, and meet new people too. Don't worry about scattering energy too thin. You're in a period of expansion. I think that's why we've been so tired. We've been expanding. So use it. Let yourself go farther afield than you planned. In the end, you will diversify in ways that introduce you to a whole new you. Nice. Nice. And we're talking about that too in one of the other cards. Well, manifesting the timeline that we want, the life that we want for 2021. And whatever you want, like you can make it happen, write it down and focus on it. And it is very possible.
And again, make sure that you're focusing on what you want, not on what you don't want.
Right?
Exactly.
That's the hard part is, we get into that, oh, I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. But it happens because we're like focusing on it so much. Okay. Now this is the King of Roses.
Cool.
All right, so this card shows a man holding two roses, a red and a white, demonstrating a balance of passion and purity. At his feet are the yellow roses of healing and creativity. This is the king of love, a man who is balanced and well-rounded. When he appears upright in your spread, it indicates that a potential union could be at hand, either in friendship, business, or romance. Whether this is a new relationship or the blossoming of an old one, this man brings tender-hearted and thoughtful support. He is also someone who could be helpful in your personal life, especially where home or family issues are concerned. Whether the king of roses is you or another man, the role of husband or father is now opening to create a happy home and family. This card also lets you know that you are ready to stand up for yourself and take loving but considered action on your own behalf. It's a time of increasing love and compassion, which always start within. And it goes back to noticing that special person. And when I was talking about the twin flames, a lot of people are meeting their twin flame and meeting that mirror image of themselves. And I think that is just kind of because of the 12/12 portal tomorrow that's so important for twin flames. I think that this card represents that there's going to be more twin flames reuniting together and helping each other grow and heal internally. That's the whole goal. This is the Queen of Forces. Look at that one. Still, again, balance. We have the sun and the moon. Twin flames are, they're a duality too. The yin and the yang. So having that balance between the feminine energy and the masculine energy. Okay, let's see what she wants to tell us. I gotta find where she is at. This way, maybe? Okay, yeah. Okay. The Queen of Forces. So she looks like she's really imbalanced, huh? So this card shows a woman balancing the energies of a sun in one hand and the moon in the other, with a river flowing beneath her feet. The Queen of Forces represents a woman who can help to bring greater balance to your life. She brings an unusual combination of power and peace, creativity and receptivity in both her energy and her support. Sometimes this card can represent a person in your life, either you or another, coming into a phase of great power and an ability to sustain it with wonderful results. There is a gift of grace and serene understanding when this card is upright. It also brings new roles and opportunities, careers in many of the sciences, global communication, nature, and energy may be now available to you. And like we said, we're going through that huge shift. So there are going to be new possibilities. The Queen of Forces could also indicate the appearance of a possible love interest or an associate in business or a creative project who has powerful influence and connections for you or for another. It may be someone you know or someone new, but when this card appears, there is a tender yet powerful support. During this time, choose to support yourself as well. You hold the forces of the sun, creativity, and the moon, receptivity, and only you yourself can direct the energy of your eternal life. Nice.
Which goes back to, again, you have the vision, the power, right? It comes back to you.
Yeah, exactly. Now, interesting enough, with everything going on in the world, look at this. We got Archangel Michael being right here to protect us, to nurture us, transmute all the negative energies that's going on into good energy. And if you look close enough, he has a heart right there in the middle of his chest. And it's like it's on fire. Can you see that? Yeah. Pretty cool, huh? And he has two little kids right next to him. Nice. Okay, so let's see what this card says. Okay. So the Archangel Michael is a channel of divine power. He is seen here sharing his energy with two small children, giving them great strength and support. Bring it up a little bit. He is about to pick up the boy, and he can help you lift your energy too. When you receive this card, know that your energy reflects Michael's amazing strength. This can be a cycle of increasing power for you. One where you feel your courage growing and you know what actions to take. Trust your convictions, your power, and your resourcefulness. Michael, upright, heralds a time of greater courage, force, initiative, and action. So don't delay. He's right there with you. So tap into the dynamo within you and take the action that compels you. With Michael and your own power, you can move mountains and lift yourself to new heights. Well, how does it get better than that?
It's like,
that's really good. This one for Archangel Michael, the Akashic Force says, so this is a little exercise that we can all do together or separately by yourself. It says, close your eyes and sense Archangel Michael's approach. Begin to feel the force of your own courage and strength grow within you, making you ready to take action with confidence and peace. Feel the power that fills every part of you now. Nice. Beautiful. Now, I think that might be all of the readings for today. Yep. We don't have anything else for the collective. And that was a powerful message. It was a very powerful message. And I feel like the whole thing is looking to the future of what you want to create, but it starts with you, right? It starts within. So we have to continue to heal, continue to grow, and ask ourselves, be in that quiet place where we ask ourselves, what is it that I truly want? What do I want? Because I know so many times we're in fear, but I chose not to live in fear. And I thought, right. No, I'm not doing that to myself. It's not fair to myself. I worked too hard. I refuse, right? And so I made a choice. I'm not living in fear. And so what do I want to create? Okay, it gives you that creativeness that the Queen was telling us about with the moon and the sun, and being creative and being receptive to what's coming towards you, or what comes up for you. And sometimes that's just healing right now.
And that's important because so many times, especially as light workers, we put everybody else first, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we're not able to live our potential if we're not taking care of us.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not being selfish. That's just being accountable for ourselves and our own healing. Because if we're not healing ourselves and keeping our vibration risen to the higher levels so that we can transcend, how are we going to be able to help someone else? Right?
You make a really good point, and it reminds me that as we heal ourselves, we actually came here to Earth at this time because we were the ones that raised our hand and said, I'll go. I'll be the one that goes in, heals myself, and heal my family lineage and the ancestors from all of their stuff. So it's really important because as you heal yourself, you heal so many other people. And like, I think we've said this so many times before, that when you heal yourself, you heal 350,000 people. It impacts 350,000 people. And how amazing is that to think about?
It is. And then also to realize, because I know like the other day, Adam and I were talking either this morning or yesterday, I don't remember, we talk every day, but one of the things, because he said they were testing, and that, he, yourself, Rebecca, and him all came out as being indigo, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
But yet when I test, I'm a star seed. So sometimes, like I was talking to somebody, then they're like, "Well, I'm not this or I'm not that," but everybody has a purpose
Mhm.
that they're feeling, and they've made the choice, and they've come for whatever reason. So,
Yeah.
everybody can't be the same thing, right?
Mhm.
There's
No.
there's purposes and there's reasons
Yeah.
and there's and so yeah, it would be great to say that I'm also this, but I'm not an indigo child, but I'm a
Mhm.
star seed, and
Yeah.
there's a purpose for me as a star seed.
Yeah, of
And
course.
so for people who are out there who, really want to be this or really want to be that, I really want to encourage you to just own what you are,
Yeah.
because there's value in that.
Mhm.
And we each have our roles and our people. There are people that I'm going to be able to touch their life and reach that you might not be able to,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? And so we all have our own different roles and places in order to be able to do that. And I think
Yeah.
it's really important that people, look at, yeah, okay, so you might not be a star, an indigo child. You may not be whatever,
Yeah.
but you're here for a purpose and a reason. And if you're a light worker, especially, and
Mhm.
for some people who don't even know they're light workers yet, they're like, well, what is that? What
Yeah.
is a light worker? What is that?
Mhm.
There's so many good, articles and stuff out there. But the biggest thing is like a, a light worker is, there's such a wide variety, I guess, of categories.
Yeah.
Because light worker would be like if you were trying to define, because we have a mutual friend and she asked me one time, well, what am I? What do I? It's like, just say just classify yourself as a light worker. Because
Mhm.
in that classification, there are sub classifications,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And the point is that we all are working together in healing. Um, and we're healing ourselves, we're healing each other,
Yep.
we're healing, lineages, we're healing the earth. I know some people who are light workers and they are strictly on animals.
Mhm.
That is
Yeah.
their modality. That's who
Yeah.
they heal. That's who they work with. And
Yeah.
that's amazing. I have other people who I know who are great with plants and the energy of plants.
Yeah. And thank goodness for those people, because I'm not that person,
Right.
and I'm like, but don't get me wrong. I love the beauty in plants and different things. But they come to my house and they die. And then animals come right to me. They just love me. And I'm not, I mean, I know usually if they're coming to me because I need to, heal them of something, you know. Um, I wish I could be like the dog whisperer or the cat whisperer. So I know like what they're talking about. But there's people that
But
can.
but you're an angel activator. Look how many people that
Exactly.
you're touching as an angel activator, that a lot of people don't have the ability to do that, right? And that's where it's about owning
Yeah.
who you are and your own abilities and your own way to bless people. Like
Yeah.
my heart, he does a lot with the fae, with fairies and that energy and the element, Um, and he's great with people. He's one of the people that he'll meet somebody he doesn't know, a stranger,
Yeah.
never met a
Exactly.
stranger, and he'll walk away knowing everything there is to know about a person without even asking them a question. They just open their heart and share with him. But and by being there, by holding that space, and that's a big thing, just being able to hold the space for somebody a lot of times. So there's people who, that's healing for them.
What it
you
is,
know
and what's so funny is I had, of course, a few sessions with your honey, and at first I was things were coming up for me, and I was being shown this picture, and I was like, and I was a little nervous about bringing that information to him. I thought, is he going to be receptive to this? But then I thought, well, I don't know. It's not for me to judge. It's just for me to be the messenger. And as soon as I said it, and he goes, ah, yeah, that makes sense. So it's like sometimes we second guess ourselves, even being light workers, right?
right.
And but then but I'm so happy that I went through that with him, because it's so funny when I have sessions with guys, they're usually like poker face. And I'm like, okay, I can't read you. I don't know what's going on, And so when he said that it resonated with him, I thought, oh, okay, so cool. But it helped me for like my next session.
Right.
because I was a little nervous, but then I'm like, well, I have to be reminded that it's not for me. This message isn't for me. It's for them. I'm just the conduit. I'm just the person that's helping filter the messages to the person for healing. And sometimes they can't always remember. So sometimes stories come up in my head. And I remember something came up with him and I were Googling. We're like, who's this person? Who's that? It was so funny from like a past life. And it was really good. But anyways, it was really good. And I still am very thankful for him that I was able to do that with him. And then it allowed me to bring that into sessions with people.
Well, and you also bring up another important thing is that as light workers, when we get something, when we get a message, we just have to be able to trust that what we're getting.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times you and I have been on, done our workshops together, our master classes.
Yeah.
And, you'll be doing something and I'm spending more time kind of watching because my piece is just like here and there.
Uh-huh.
And I do like the one piece and then you do a lot of, and it all works together.
Yeah.
But that allows me to kind of watch the group and get information, and I will Google you. I will text you or message you something. I'm getting this or I'm getting that. And there's been a couple times that, I remember we were doing one class and I reached out to somebody because I just was led to, and I said, I'm just, please forgive me if this is, too much information, but have you ever had an abortion?
Mm-hmm.
Or a miscarriage or, and they'd had a miscarriage.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know who that person was. I'd never met them.
Yeah.
Right. But I was able to give that person some healing to say, this spirit of this child is still there with you.
Yeah.
And it's going to be born back in. It may not be to you.
Yeah.
But it may be as a grandchild.
Mm.
But it's still in your family.
Yeah.
And it's still in your direct line, so it's not going to be like a cousin, or it's going to be like one of your children is going to have, or possibly a sister, but if I didn't trust myself, I wouldn't have been able to give that information. So as a light worker, if you get messages like that, trust that you're getting them right. Because I know like you just said, you get messages and it's like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And that's what I'll say to them. Okay, this really isn't making sense to me, but does it resonate with you, or does it, and I can be wrong on a name or something, but usually the story, the core is there, right? So
when it's funny, because sometimes if you're picking up on names, it may not be that their name in this life. You could be picking it up on in a different life. And there's been other times where don't you ever get sometimes you want to call somebody something else, and it doesn't matter. You can call, so like, and say, hey, my name's Amanda, and you're like, oh, hi, Amanda, and then 5 seconds later after a conversation, you could be like, oh, Heather, and it's like, no, Amanda. And you're like, oh gosh, like you just want to keep calling me that name. It could be something that's coming in from, a past life. And I did that with one of my girlfriends, and I kept wanting to call her a different name, but I was like, you had to have been that name in a past life, because it is so strong. Like, seriously, it was like just crazy. And
or a lot of times too, parents argue over what they're going to name a child.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
And so, the mom will have one name that this is her, in her mind, this is that child. And the dad will have another name, and one will win out over the other a lot of times.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea too, because I didn't think much about that. Oh,
or if a child is adopted and their name's changed.
Yeah, that too.
So there's a lot of things, right, that could fit into that.
Well, and it's funny. I had this friend, and she was adopted, and her adopted parents named her something, but she, on her birth certificate, she actually was born with a different name, and she goes, oh, I can't stand that name, and I'm like, why? And she goes, well, that was my birth name. But she couldn't stand it. So luckily, I mean, her adopted parents changed it for her because she didn't like it.
My 2 children are adopted. My oldest one was already named before, but we changed her name when we adopted her. And then my youngest, we got to pick her name. So her name on her birth certificate is her name.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Interesting.
so it
Yeah.
varies.
Yeah. Yep. Well, it's so cool. I know we could talk about this stuff forever,
Yes, I
but
know, but we have our other live to do
we have
soon.
we have other
So
live coming up.
we are okay. So just again, thank you guys for listening to us and following us. We are really looking at getting to 100 followers. We're up to 77 right now, and if we can hit 100 before the end of the year, that would be amazing.
Yes, please share us
So
with your
share us.
friends.
You know, if you've been watching but haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe.
Yeah.
You know, hit the notification so you know when we go live. Amanda and I have pretty much got this down unless one of us is traveling that we'll be going live the same time every Friday with a duo card,
Mm-hmm.
dynamic duo. And then we have 2 other days during the week, Mondays and Fridays, that we go live as a group. And
Mm-hmm.
that group one's going to be coming up in another, what, 15 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we will see you again shortly. Thank you very much. And you guys all have an amazing day.
Thank you.